Two tools. Two tools. Two tools. No clue!
Hey everyone, welcome to the Two Tools No Clue podcast. I'm Anna,
I'm Jeidan.
and on today's mini-sode, mini but great, we are doing part 2, long-awaited,
Yes.
of This Is a Gardening Show commentary. And this time it's Jaiden's turn.
Yep, it's me. So in these episodes, we follow Zach as he talks about the dirt on root vegetables,
Ooh,
the corny jokes and the history of corn, and the tea about composting, which I
Yeah.
enjoyed, and that one was the shortest, but that's okay. I still learned a lot.
and I think it's really funny because we were waiting until each one of us did our parts to then sit down collectively and watch it through together. Well, we no longer have Netflix, so we will never see
It together.
the opposite parts. I will only have ever seen 1 through 3, and poor Jay will have only ever seen 4 through 6.
Yeah, so I mean,
Whoops.
for what it's worth, I enjoyed 4 through 6.
But there's collective knowledge here at least.
Yeah, so, as you guys already can tell through the episodes, he goes around and he asks the stupid questions about, gardening for us.
Are they stupid though?
They're not, but that's what he calls them. He literally says my stupid questions. I think it was cool because he started every episode questioning these children about various things. And that was one of the good parts that I enjoyed. So in episode 4, it was all about root vegetables. He first stopped at elementary school and he quizzed them on their knowledge of root vegetables.
Oh, how'd they do?
They did very well, actually.
Wow.
Some of
Is this the same school that was having them go out and forage though? Because I have high hopes for these children.
Probably, it kind of seemed like it was the same school. So out of all the things that he questioned these kids on, the one thing that I took from it was this joke from a 5-year-old. It was a tree joke. Do you want to hear it?
Yes, I do. Of course I do.
Okay. What is a tree's favorite drink? It's root beer.
I love that.
I hate root beer, but I love that joke.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
He made that up?
Probably not.
Oh, I was
but
like, damn.
I haven't heard it yet. And fun fact, something that I also learned, not from this child, but just they would put up these random facts throughout the episodes. Anna saw them, I'm sure, in her own episodes. I didn't see them.
Oh, I quoted them directly.
Yeah. So
Every single one.
I'm quoting them as well, just like Anna. So fun fact, early man learned to dig root vegetables from observing primates.
Interesting.
Our brothers and sisters, friends, whether you like to admit it or not.
I'm surprised. How early man are we talking? I'm surprised it wasn't just ingrained in us.
I don't know. I don't know if it was the caveman. I don't know, but that's how they figured it out.
That's
I
wild.
thought literally. I thought that was pretty cool. So after the interviews, he goes to Armora Farms, where he learns the real dirt on root vegetables from Arzina, the root vegetable specialist.
Arzina.
Yeah. So
who is that?
She's this lady
Oh,
who
it's
works on the farm.
Person. I didn't know if it was the name.
Oh,
of the farm.
no, she's a person. Sorry, she's a list lady. She was really nice. So in this last part of the episode, we follow them as they plant carrots and potatoes, and they also go into the fields and pick fresh carrots and potatoes. And Zach had some really good questions for her. Some of the footage that, I mean, okay. If you don't know who we're referencing yet, he's the guy with the baby in The Hangover. Okay, he's not a serious man. He makes his living off of his comedy, right? He's just a very funny man, and they had all these outtakes of him just walking through the fields. I don't know, it was
That's
so
amazing.
Funny. He also was betting on what colors these vegetables were gonna come out at the end, and he like calls his partner and he's like, "I'm sorry, honey, I lost the last of our money gambling on potato. I think it was potatoes or something. Potato sellers. It was so silly, but yeah. So they go around and they plant. He asked a lot of good questions. The one that stuck out with me the most was the difference between root vegetable roots like carrots compared to the roots of a tomato. His question was simple, but the answer was really educational. Arzina explained to us that vegetables grow by the plant focusing all of its attention on a certain part. Plants that bear fruits, for example, are where you will find all the sugars and carbohydrates build up. For root plants, it's the opposite, making the roots the main focus instead of what grows above the surface. I also didn't know that you should leave your potatoes in the ground until the leaves start turning yellow.
Ah,
Just like garlic, like it wilts away and
did you not do that when we grew potatoes in
I
the
was just so
pots?
impatient. I would like dig my hand in there and be like, "Oh, a little potato. I've done it."
I've done it.
But yeah, so I've just always been way too impatient. So yeah, they're always too small. So yeah, that was kind of the gist of the first episode. He roamed the fields with Arzina, asked her a lot of questions. I thought it was interesting on how like everybody just plants their things differently.
Yeah.
But farmers, like when we grow our plants at our house, we're just like so particular and you like do all these things to this one tiny seed, and farmers are just like, just throw it in there and stand on it. What?
Well, I've noticed that some things work for some people and they don't for others.
Yeah.
Like I'll be scrolling on our TikTok, which is like 99% gardening videos. And the video I'm referencing, someone was like, I hate having to pluck out all of these seedlings because they're going to compete for space.
Yeah.
That's the worst part of gardening because I always feel bad for them.
Yeah.
And someone's like, oh, I never thin my seedlings. I always just let them battle it out. And someone commented and was like, doesn't it make them small? Like, no. And they like sent a picture and these radishes are like whole size radishes.
Yeah.
They didn't thin them. But other people, they were having a hard time with it. So they had to.
They grow in the wild.
Right?
Yeah. I was thinking about stuff like that.
I just think it's interesting. I also saw a video where people are saying like, screw companion planting. Like just get a handful of a mix of seeds and throw it into a bed. And like they were saying as soon as something's ready, harvest it. And that way it will get out of the way for the next thing. So I don't know about that, but it sounded really interesting.
That sounds pretty cool.
Maybe we should have a wild bed.
Yeah, we should try. That'd be pretty funny, honestly. Wild vegetables rather than wild flowers.
Yeah, right?
We should definitely try
Just
that.
see what happens.
I'm down. Pick a spot in the garden. We'll try it out. Amount of dirt, you know me. I'm ready to go. So in episode 5, Zach takes us to the cornfields. You know how I feel about cornfields. They sketch me out. But
are you going to tell them about the one cornfield?
If you want me to. Okay, one time we went to Maine for a wedding with some of our old coworkers, and we ended up at this gas station, but the gas station was literally surrounded by cornfields. It was really creepy. Not much service out there, whatever, just like the start of a really horrible horror movie. And I hate horror movies, and I hate being out in the middle of nowhere.
What enticed you into this field?
I don't know. Maybe aliens, something. So like me and this kid were like, oh, we're gonna go into the cornfield, and there's pictures of us coming out of the cornfield. We are literally hauling ass out of the cornfield.
They're just a blur.
We're a blur, okay? Because like the flash is going off, and we're literally like, and I can't even tell you what happened. I just was walking, and then all of a sudden I was hauling my ass out of there.
Something was like, get out of my cornfield.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't trust them. You know, I'm a 90s kid, so I remember like the children of the corn bullshit. Like I'm all set.
Do you know that the main kid in that movie was like an adult? He had some sort of growth thing.
That makes him creepier.
look like a child, even though he's like probably, I think he was like 30 or 40.
I didn't know that, but that was really creepy. I don't think I even ever watched that
That's
movie.
what makes that movie extra creepy, because he's
Oh.
so like he's on an intelligence level that is above these kids.
Yeah,
Like if
that's way
this was
creepy.
actually a kid, it'd be very creepy because of how intelligent he was. But he's a grown man, so
Yeah,
it makes sense.
but it's still creepy though, because in the movie he's a child.
Anyway,
So he does go to the school, and it's just a bunch of corny jokes. LOL.
LOL.
All it is. I'm gonna spare you with those. Then we go and we meet Murray.
Murray.
Murray was a character. I feel like I'm probably going to be Murray when I'm older.
Oh God.
Murray is the guy from McNabb's farm. All he does his entire life is corn. He was very straightforward farmer. Very straightforward. I thought it was funny because, Zach would ask him like really random scientific questions about corn or history of corn. He'd be like, I know nothing about that. I grow corn. Like, I thought it was really funny. And then at one point, he was just giving him a hard time. And then he goes, well, I'll ask you this, is corn or grain? And he was like, I don't know. And I'm
Man
really
just
like,
knows how.
is it? Like, he's like, stop asking him questions. You know what I mean? So they go around the cornfield. Like, this man is very old. Like I said, he's close to retirement. Very stubborn man. Has this huge tractor, okay? And they're going around the farm. And at first, like, he gets in this tractor and he just drives away. So Zach is like literally like chasing him to go to the next spot. I thought it was wicked funny. Like, it's this old man behavior, you know what I mean?
Like, you're too slow.
Exactly. So anyway, he was talking about how corn self-pollinates, and the top of the plant actually has to pollinate the strands of the hair on the cobs, and I did not know that. I had no idea how corn came to be. I just thought it was kind of like cucumbers, where like maybe it would flower, but I've never seen flowers on corn. That doesn't happen.
True.
So, okay, I'm going to tell you how it's made, but I'm going to read this so that I don't mess it up. So, the top of the plant has to pollinate the strands of the hair at the tops of every cob.
How does that happen? Through the wind? How does it pollinate itself?
Yeah, I think just like the wind and stuff. I don't really know. So anyway, each hair represents a kernel. So if you've corn on the cob that's missing some, that's because it didn't get pollinated. That strand didn't get pollinated.
Wow. And that makes sense.
That weird? And that's why all those pieces of hair are in there, because they made the corn. It's like the umbilical cord is what it makes me
That makes
think
sense
of.
why there's so many of those hairs too.
Yeah, I was very impressed all of a sudden with the creation of corn, because I didn't think it was like that. I just thought it would like happen.
Corn is fascinating,
Yeah.
because the corn we have today is so much different than the corn that they used historically.
Yes, so I was just gonna get into that.
Look at me.
So corn. Okay, hold on. First, I forgot to introduce you to Michael, because Murray did not know that information.
And Michael.
Michael was the actual corn specialist.
Michael, we need your answers.
He's an archaeologist. Okay, so like he studies a lot of different things, but his main focus was the history of like food and grains.
Okay, Michael, I'm not sure about that, but we'll give you the time of day.
You would pick that as your focus and studies, but we appreciate it because we have this knowledge now.
So expecting you to be like, Michael is the expert in corn, and instead he's an archaeologist. Archaeologist.
That specializes in like ancient grains and stuff like that, which is corn. So anyway,
that is true. That is true. When I think of archaeologists, I think of like dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. But there's more to the earth.
I just imagine him in the sand digging for fossils of grain.
I don't know how they figured this out, honestly, but it's freaking funny to think of him doing that. So anyway, corn was farmed by humans. The original corn is called teosinete. So it's smaller.
The corn itself or the kernels? Like the
All of it.
husk?
All of it. The husk. All of it is smaller. Like not as sweet as well, which I thought was very interesting.
Mm.
He also answered the question, is corn a grain? And he said, not only is it a grain, it is one of the 3 most important food crop grains in the world. Some other facts that I learned during this episode are that Europe was introduced to corn in the late 15th century. I didn't realize it wasn't something that could be grown everywhere, but that makes sense.
Corn is so invasive in our cultures, just all
it was
over
the
the
explorers'
world. That
fault.
I can't even
Listen.
picture that corn wasn't a native species everywhere.
I know. These explorers, you know how they were with the spices. Don't get me started. I already had a whole rant about it. But
Episode 5.
Yeah, this is the mini episode, but whatever. So yeah, I didn't realize that it wasn't something found on every continent at first, but like many crops, it was brought over by greedy explorers.
Mm-hmm.
In the 16th century, they began growing corn in Italy, Portugal, and Spain because of this.
Wow.
Most European farmers still to this day will not eat it, though. They consider it animal food.
Dang.
Most of Europe doesn't really like corn. Scotland does. Scotland loves corn.
I was gonna say, I can't remember if I ate corn in Scotland.
Scotland loves corn.
Well, Scotland are the real ones, so.
So yeah, that was mainly the gist of that episode. Murray was pretty stubborn but funny.
He can grow corn. That's all he needs to do in life.
Listen, he did let Zach drive the tractor at the end.
Wow.
He almost ran over his potato patches and he wasn't that happy, but he did survive. And it was really comical to watch that old man yell at him like that.
You think he did that on purpose just for the bit?
I don't know. I really can't tell. He was yelling like, you know, when an old man.
Come on! I want to see this.
It was pretty good. He's like, the potato patches, because he was in the tractor with him, like, and they could barely fit. Like, it was really funny, because like he didn't trust him that much to drive.
No, I wouldn't let him drive.
He's like, you know how to drive that thing, and he's like, yeah, I do. And then he like somehow turned it on, so maybe he does know how to drive a tractor. Okay. But he was like, and that's what he said. He said, oh, okay. He still got in there anyway. So yeah, that was episode 5.
Okay, yeah.
Corn. It was pretty funny. But I did learn some interesting things about corn that I did not realize, especially how it becomes corn.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. But again, a pretty short episode. They're only like, I think the shortest one I had was like 12 minutes, which is the composting one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think this one was like only like 14 minutes.
Yeah, they were
like,
short.
They were really short. But I don't know. I think he did a good job for like small information versus like comedy.
Yeah.
Part of it. So yeah, like I said, so episode 6 is all about composting. He was actually really excited to go see this composting lady because he himself has been making his own compost, so he was like really excited. And I thought just that alone made the episode special, because I think it was his favorite episode, honestly.
I'm excited to know what you have to say, because composting is one of those things that seems so simple and so confusing all at the same time.
Yeah, I did walk away kind of confused about what I should be composting.
Oh no. Well, we should be composting.
Yes,
I mean more of like when do you rotate it? Because I mean we have a compost pile in quotes for our listeners, and it is literally just we take our little kitchen compost and we throw the scraps on top of the scraps, and then we put the leaves on top of it, and then we walk away. We've never once rotated any of that. Yeah. I have no idea what it would be like.
It'd be terrifying. So he he does go to a school to begin this episode, and he like quizzes them on just like random garden things, and they again knew a lot. They were like sitting in the inside of a garden house. It was like a rainy day, just
That's
like asking
lovely.
these questions to them, and it was really nice to see that kids not only naturally knew the answers to these things, that some of the adults that I know in our lives daily like don't know how things are grown because they've lived in a city or really anything like that. Like they knew it. They're being taught it and they're absorbing it. You know what I mean? Like they're understanding the connections. It's not just like this is a fact that I learned at school today. Like they really understand it,
Mhm.
which is really nice to see, considering everything else that's going on right now.
Yeah. I'm just now remembering, I think this is all the same school. I think it's one school in
Okay.
Vancouver.
It makes sense. Oh, okay. It makes way more sense
Mhm.
as in Vancouver.
That fact just plopped into my.
That's sad now.
I remember
That makes
reading
me
that.
sad. So after he questions the kids, he heads over to Merville, where we learn about the process of composting from expert Joyce. Joyce was very easygoing, very kind lady.
You know what's weird? Sorry to cut you off.
What?
Every Joy I've ever met,
Mhm.
horrible.
I feel like we've said this before on the
Horrible.
on the episode. Horrible,
Horrible. Joyce's lovely people.
sweethearts.
What is that
Just
about?
add the CE, and a smile comes back.
It's like it's too ironic of a name. They just cannot hang.
Yeah,
Anyway,
you're not wrong.
sorry.
Yeah. So we also learn about what is good and what is bad for your compost bins. So what is composting anyway? That was one of the first questions that's asked. And Zach does give us the breakdown before we meet the professionals. Composting provides the ideal environment for organisms like bacteria and fungi to break down organic waste. The stuff that is left is compost. Joyce dives right into what makes up a good compost mixture. She says a nice mixture of carbon like leaves or high nitrogen like grass clippings. Joyce then sets up a game to test Zach's composting knowledge. And this is where like I was thrown for a loop with some of the stuff. Basically from the game this is what we learn. Some things are good for the compost bin and others are horrible. Things that are horrible, plastic, dog and cat poop, don't do it. Don't be weird.
Well, the whole point of compost is to get compost for your garden, is it not?
Yeah,
So why would you be putting feces in there? Who's
exactly.
gonna eat that,
Yeah,
people?
don't
Come
do
on.
it. That's
Common sense here.
horrible.
Horrible.
Bread, fish, egg,
Bread?
rolls,
What? Okay, here I am judging people, and now I'm like,
barbecue, Britics, gum, tea bags, dairy. And so this is
okay,
why tea bags used to be compostable. Okay?
hold on. You're not giving me time to process any of this.
Okay, so before you panic, eggshells technically, bread technically, as like it can be done. Joyce said it was bad because it attracts animals to your compost bin. So that's why those things are labeled bad.
Why
like-
do those specifically attract animals and not like the veggies that I'm putting in there?
I don't know. Well, I feel like I don't know. I'm not sure.
Weird.
Yeah. And so like the tea bag thing, like I didn't actually realize this, that tea bag companies, shame on you, they started making their tea bags out of plastic.
You were telling that to the starter lady.
Yeah. That's where I learned it. And
Oh,
Starter lady.
interesting.
because I'm still thinking about it. It's living rent free in my mind once a day when I drink my frickin' tea.
Well, I guess I don't know what it was before that. Before it was plastic. It was cloth.
Yeah, it wasn't plastic. Not all companies do this, but a lot of them do. So shame on you, and check your tea bags, I guess, because that's weird.
Yeah, I wonder if it says it on the packaging, if it's plastic.
I should check. I wonder Looking at you, Bigelow.
Oh my goodness.
Are you plastic or are you good? So, things that are good: leaves, shredded paper, sticks, coffee grounds, peels, cotton textiles, wood ashes, and cedar.
That's it?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, now I'm even more confused because I thought compost was for food scraps.
Peels.
Okay, and like every other food scrap I ever produce. The tops of strawberries.
Yeah, that's okay.
Like
I consider that a peel.
an apple that got mushy before I could get to it. Like,
Yeah, I think you're okay.
you're freaking me out.
Well, I was freaking out too, so welcome to the club, I
And
suppose.
then he leaves us on this. He's like, bye.
Yeah.
That's the end of the gardening show.
But so, okay, like I said, I was confused as well. Like the eggshells are on the list, but that's only because they attract animals. It's actually really good for your compost and because it's high in calcium. And Joyce does say that. So
Okay.
she's like, if your compost needs it, put it in there. But like, just get a really good compost bin. She actually had this really, she first was very simple, did not turn. She just like would dig at it, layer it, and it was like this metal box.
Oh, a fancy guy.
Yeah, it had a lid on top, and she would just layer it. She
Good.
said you would dig into it, into the ground. You'd like dig a hole of the area that you need into the ground, put it in there, and that way the animals can't dig into it because it's like a little further down.
I feel like my
That's
dad and
interesting.
Nikki have one like that. Ours is literally just those segment fences, the metal black
Yeah,
segment
like it's
fences.
a build a fence.
Yeah, the animals get in there all the time, but it's never an issue. Like every now and then I'll see like a scrap of a clementine or something weird
Yeah,
out of the compost, but it's not
They've
nothing
run it,
crazy. It's
yeah.
not like they've just like blown up the area.
Yeah, and they haven't destroyed it. So
No.
yeah, I'm
It's
fine
been out
with
there
it.
for like almost 3 years at this point. So
Yeah.
don't let this scare you from composting. Okay,
Yeah,
it
still-
doesn't seem
still
like it's
compost.
this complicated.
So they ended the episode with Joyce taking a look at his compost because he brought some.
Oh
And
wow!
when I say he was excited, like this was 100% his favorite episode.
And it was the shortest one. That's
Yeah.
so weird.
Light and humor because he was just excited. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like he was still funny, but like it wasn't. I don't know. There wasn't much filler because it was just him being very excited about the compost, and she said it was really good. That
Oh,
made
good.
him that made him even more excited. But that was the end of the episode, and it kind of made me inspired to at least try to do our own because we do have a lot of natural like clippings and everything available to us already. So
Mhm.
like we could be probably making our own compost. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed watching them. I am kind of bummed that I can't watch the first three. But between Zach and then the people that he was choosing and kind of just all the topics and then obviously the kids at the school, like I thought it was a good short episode season that he did because it was only 6 episodes altogether,
Mhm.
ranging from like what 12 to 16 minutes probably at the most.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed them.
Yeah, I'm really bummed that I'm not gonna. Maybe we can like bootleg them or something.
We're probably gonna end up with Netflix again at some point.
Yeah, that's where all the good comedy is, unfortunately.
We have been trying to be more conscious about the providers that we're using right now, just because I don't know, things are getting crazy and you really do have to vote with your money
You vote with your dollar every day.
every day. And it sounds silly, but it's true. You know, if you're going to support the evil, then
Which means Amazon Jeidan,
God.
looking at you, says go to.
We canceled our DoorDash. We canceled Netflix.
We're about to cancel
We're
Spotify.
about to cancel Spotify.
Should we say that?
I don't think we should say
Okay,
that.
we take that back.
We'll take it back. We haven't canceled it yet. we're thinking about canceling some other things because I don't know. It's important to us, and it should be important to everybody too. Like, our democracy is failing us. We gotta hurt them where it actually hurts them, and it's your dollars, friends, because
Mhm.
they take it from us every single fucking day before we even get our paychecks. And then
Support
again,
local.
yeah.
Support
So
your neighbors. Your
support
neighbor has fresh
yourself.
eggs. Get your fresh eggs
Yeah.
there. Any little bit you can to bring it into your community instead of these corporations, do it. Even if it's $1 more. If you can do it with it being just a little bit more expensive, sometimes it's not even that much more expensive.
Yeah, and
Sometimes it's shocking.
and it doesn't mean that we're not going out and getting food that's takeout. Like, that's still happening.
Oh,
but
yeah.
does it require a car ride? Yes.
And we are also trying to curb it in that sense too. Like, if we want to go out for pizza, we're not doing Domino's. We're doing our local pizza place.
Exactly. That's
Like,
what I
it's
was
all
just
about the
to say.
mindset.
Because that's the only way we're gonna get back on track. When I think of the things that I missed the most as a kid, when I think back even just like, 10 years ago, it's like all those small things, all those small connections, and we just have to get back to them. We
Mhm.
forgot about them, and they are still important to us. So we have to value them, and that means supporting them. So yeah.
That's our PSA.
Farmer's Almanac time.
Let's do it. All right. So today is May 28th. Hubble image of TMR-1C object released 1998.
Good year. I was 8.
You were 8? I was 2.
Yeah. I knew you were gonna say that.
And it is the best day to brew, demolish, buy a home, advertise to sell, mow to promote growth, plant above ground crops, breed animals, and slaughter livestock. Woo!
Damn, what a productive day.
Busy one.
All right, Thursday. Well, you know what you guys should be doing, not listening to us. We're done now, so you should go be productive.
With your livestock and your mowing
Yeah, tell me about your mowing, not about the slaughter of
and
the
your
livestock.
brewing and demolishing.
True. Demolish on, brothers and sisters.
You can follow us at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Two Tools No Clue podcast. You can subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/Two Tools No Clue. And you can email us your stories, your topic ideas, your comments, your questions, your concerns at Two Tools No Clue podcast at gmail.com.
Heck yeah, your political rants, your opinions, whatever you got for us, we're here for you. We love
Deliver
you
them
all.
to that man.
Yeah, I'm here for you guys, no matter what you think. And be
We
safe
love
out
you.
there. Yeah, we love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Two tools. Two tools. Two tools. No!